What's up, guys? This is Rise, and welcome to another video. Another Pokemon that got a buff was Ariados with Poison Sting, now doing 1 more damage, just like Fairy Wind. And I will make the statement that so far this season, Ariados may be the Pokemon I've had the most fun using. Only 5 Poison Stings to get to 2 moves. One that debuffs your opponent's attack, one that buffs your own attack. Getting to those moves so quickly and buffing and debuffing is a fun part of Pokemon Go PvP. Can make for some crazy win conditions and some crazy endgames. So without further ado, here we go. This is the Ariados team along with Dugong and Greninja. I had someone in my chat suggest this team, and if you guys want to suggest me some of your teams on my live stream, feel free to go check me out over on Twitch, where I stream pretty much every single weekday, usually around 2:30, 3 p.m. Central Time. Sometimes we stream at other times, but that's usually the general time that I stream. And we start things off here with the Ariados mirror match. And our opponent, you notice, actually is letting us get off these lunges first, which is nice for us because now their moves are going to be debuffed 1 extra stage than our moves are going to be debuffed, which is nice for us. So this is beneficial. We're going to get off another lunge here. This is our 3rd lunge. It connects. And this is a triple debuffed lunge that we're about to take. Not going to do very much damage. They switch. I was a little bit slow to react to this Malamar. So that was a little bit of a mistake. If I reacted a little bit quicker, would have taken less Psywave damage on Ariados. Keep that in mind for later. We're going to go for a Hydro Cannon here against this Malamar. Hydro Cannon, very strong move, right? Community Day move. Now we go for the Night Slash since it's in Night Slash range. Greninja, very quick to its charge attacks as well. And we are going to potentially respect a superpower. Now, I decide to try and switch and snipe, but unfortunately, our opponent reacts very quickly, and they swap into their own Greninja. So the two of us running very similar teams. The only difference is we have a Dugong instead of a Malamar. But can Dugong put in work against this Greninja? I go for the Drill Run first, thinking he might expect me to bait. Now we are going to take this move and go for the Icy Wind, since they're in Icy Wind range. This will allow us to debuff the Greninja, but they still have a shield to hide behind. Icy Wind grabs the final shield. You know what? I probably, in hindsight, I could have combo played right there with the Night Slash I had banked. That would have been so nice. But instead, we end up using it here on Ariados. Now Ariados is going to feint to the Night Slash. Would Ariados have even gotten to a move? I'm not sure. Maybe I could have farmed down. But now we're going to see a superpower come through. And unfortunately, we are just way too low on both of our remaining Pokemon. Imagine if I had swapped earlier in the game, maybe Ariados would have been able to get the Sting down there because it was debuffed at that point versus earlier it was not debuffed. Super close endgame. We start off with a loss, but well played by the opponent. We'll try and come back from the loss. And sometimes when you run a brand new team for the first time, it's a little bit of a feel out process. So we got the feel out game under our belt. Let's go. Here we go. Shiny Dugong safe swap. We're going to throw after 6 Poison Stings here because it's a 1-turn swap. So it's basically 12 turns plus that 1 turn. So it's like 12 versus 13. Some of you probably just understood what I said. Some of you are probably like, what's he talking about? But anyway, we throw there. And then we go Dugong versus Dugong because we want to preserve our Ariados for that Azumarill. Ariados likes that matchup. Now we're just going to fire off Drill Run here. Really no reason to go for the Icy Wind debuff, in my opinion. Some people tend to fall in love with the debuff, but keep in mind, our switch timers are desynced. If we go for the Icy Wind debuff, there's a chance he just ends up switching out and clearing that debuff anyway. We knock out opposing Dugong. In comes Azumarill. And I was really considering like hard switching Ariados here and keeping Dugong around. But I decide, you know, I'm just going to play it safe. I'm just going to deal as much damage as possible. It's not like Azu can farm me down. Azu's going to at least have to expend energy here. They go for the play rough, and check this out. Dugong IVs don't matter until they matter. Gets to another drill run before going down. Chips away at Azumarill. In comes Dragonair. Now, Greninja is going to struggle against Dragonair, so I'm going to have to stay in here, at least for the time being, against this Dragonair. I get off the lunge. They're going to fire off an attack here, and here's what I'm thinking. We shield. We get off another lunge, which they pretty much have to shield. In this way, now that the Dragonair is double debuffed, Greninja is in a little bit better spot. We get off the Night Slash, and a double debuff Dragonair is not as threatening for Greninja, right? The Body Slam is not as threatening, so I can actually afford to take the Body Slam now with it doing less damage. Look at that. Doesn't do that much. We get off the Hydro Cannon here against Azu, and this is perfect. This is a charge attack priority, and this is hopefully going to set up our Ariados for a Poison Sting down in the endgame. We let it go. It's an Ice Beam. We actually live, so we swap out, and we get the farm down, have the lunge loaded. Opponent is going to top left. Get our first win with the squad. And there we go. Ariados, Dugong, Greninja. Every single Pokemon on this team at least has some sort of buff potential. I mean, Ariados and Dugong have the guaranteed debuff moves. Greninja has the boost potential with Night Slash. Another Azumarill lead. We like that for Ariados. And check this out. Amazing situation for Greninja. We get off the Hydro Cannon before they even get to a move. And honestly, yeah, they just have to let it go. Because if they start shielding, they're just going to continue to get outpaced. So I don't think they can really afford to shield there. And now Greninja. But here's the thing. I feel like the fact that they were willing to swap a fire type makes me think, what if it's double fire? So that was what's going through my head here. What if it's double fire? I actually get baited by the Ice Beam, but I preserve the Greninja. It's not double fire, but it's a Shadow Haunter as a closer. And we get off the lunge. It's double resisted, but it's still chunks, because Shadow Hunter is one of the frailest Pokemon you could possibly imagine. I'm hoping I could live a Shadow Punch from here since it's debuffed. And we do actually live the Shadow Punch just barely. Ariados, that debuff's so valuable. Gets off another one. And then all this energy we're going to utilize here on our Greninja. I figure I can live a Shadow Punch once again since it's double debuffed. That still did a lot considering double debuffed and resisted. That's pretty crazy. Then I just throw the Hydro Cannon in case they decided to catch. It would do a little bit more damage. This will knock out Haunter. They didn't catch, but now we've got Dugong up a shield against the Azumarill. I shield the first just to play things safe. And it's actually Hydro Pump, so they probably don't have Play Rough. And then we just play things a little bit, not safe, but we have a little bit of fun with the debuff. Just kind of trolling our opponent here. Is there anyone in the comments that's mad or offended by me doing that? Let us know, and we can tease you back. Icy Wind. Opponent's out of here. Oh my gosh, Rise. You just were about to waste an extra 36 seconds of your opponent's day. I can't believe you. Well, Devin, what can I say, man? Sometimes you got to have some fun. Battle starting. The Summoner, 1972. I wonder if that's when they were born. Or maybe it's just a significant year to them. This is really good for Ariados since it's Charm. We are going to resist the Charm damage thanks to our Poison typing. Going to go for the Trailblaze here. Grabs a shield. I am going to shield up the Weather Ball. And the fact that they're staying in tells me they may be double weak. I could have overfarmed more here. I guess I just decided to get rid of it as soon as possible to not take as much charm damage. In comes Bastiodon, and we are kind of ABA weak to Bastiodon with this team. So I actually am going to just stay in, which is unfortunate, right? Our opponent makes a mistake. No reason for them to shield. So that shield could very well cost them in this game. But yeah, I can't really afford to swap out, right? Because I kind of need to keep the alignment. They land the Stone Edge. There's a Medicham. Yikes. We are double weak to Medicham here in the back. I'm like, wait, this thing still exists? It did get nerfed again. Psychic got nerfed seasons ago. Now Counter just got nerfed. They're still rocking. They're still living in the past. They're not over their X. They're still running Basti Medi. And we are able to beat it with a Dugong. Get off the drill run here. This will do double super effective damage against Bastidon, which should put it into Hydro Cannon range for Greninja. We still have our shield to hide behind. And this should deliver the knockout to Bastidon. Bang. Wash it away off my screen. G to the G. We can't be losing to Bastidon after it got nerfed, you know? To be fair, Bastidon is still ranked like super high in the PvPoke rankings. With all these updates in this new season, I have been checking PvPoke during videos like more often than ever before. Basti's still ranked like super high. Yeah, 18, and it got nerfed. Crazy. All right, we got two better answers to Mandibuzz, so we're gonna safe swap Dugong. They counter swap for Alligator, so not like the best for Dugong, but also not the worst. I mean, we're gonna resist the water damage if they don't have Crunch. We land the Drill Run. You could argue I should go for Icy because I'm going to need two moves anyway, so maybe it'd be more valuable to like debuff them first. Because now they're going to land two not debuffed Hydro Cannons, which will put me into farm down range. So maybe if I had like Icy Winded, maybe they can't farm me down after two. Who knows? But we go for the Icy. We get the shield. I aggressively swap since I don't have Switch anyway. And I'm debating whether I want to shield or not. I decide to let it go. In comes Mandy. I'm like, okay. This is good that Ariados is avoiding Mandibuzz. Although Ariados can fight back with some neutral lunges and poison stings, still not where Ariados wants to be. The super effective Aerial Aces spamming away are not ideal. I double shield Aerial Aces here against Mandibuzz, which is not ideal, right? You typically don't want to be shielding Aerial Aces from Mandibuzz. I want to be saving your shields for more threatening moves, but now we're going to go for the Night Slash after landing the Hydro Cannon. We get rid of Mandy. What's going to be in the back? Golurk. So in the moment, I was like, oh no, this looks really bad. However, we get the shield. Golurk is going to run Mud Slap, Shadow Punch, Dynamic Punch. They don't have a heavy hitting move that threatens our Ariados. It's really just the Shadow Punch. So Shadow Punch is what's coming through here. We're able to take it. Does a lot of damage, but we get off the Trailblaze. Is Trailblaze enough? It's super effective damage. Shadow Golurk is glassy. Bang! We knock it out. And we get the Poison Sting down. Ariados. Too good. Gets the win. Let's go, baby. That's a 4-1 set. Our items are full. We got to clear some out. People get mad at me because I discard Pokeballs. Because I don't really use any of those like auto catchers that people use. So people always get mad. Rise, you got to save the Pokeballs for the Go Plus Plus. Sorry, I do have a Go Plus Plus, but I don't really use it. All right. Tough lead, so we're going to safe swap Dugong. Our opponent counter swaps Mandibuzz. I don't know if that was a misclick. I don't know if they had a better answer, but yeah, they're in a bad spot. Like right off the bat, they're in a bad spot now. The game has immediately flipped in momentum because we can easily just flip this matchup, get Greninja onto Clodsire, and our opponent is out of here. Okay, great game. I will make sure to message them how great of a game that was. That was a sarcastic joke, if you couldn't tell. Next battle. Here we go. Ariados into Diggersby. Once again, two better answers, so I'm probably going to dip out of here. Dugong. Ice sharding away. They eventually swap into Greedent with Bullet Seed. So we're just going to spam off Icy Wind. These Bullet Seeds, super effective. If they have Trailblaze, this is not very good for Dugong. And look at that. They do have Trailblaze, so they're kind of they're kind of like clearing their debuffs in a sense, right? We're debuffing, they're rebuffing. Rebuffing. You don't really hear that term often. Greedent, so adorable, by the way. I know, whenever we see Greedent, we have to mention how cute it is. It's a rule. It's an unwritten rule. You know, at this point, oh, he actually let it go. But here's the thing. This is still kind of bad because although Greninja has a good matchup here, quote unquote, when we're down this much energy, this is not comfortable for Greninja. Scorching Sands is going to hurt. So we're still not in a great spot. They get off the first Scorching Sands. They get off the second. Look how much damage that does. I'm going to go for my Hydro Cannon here. Maybe I should have baited since he still has both shields. He shields. I'm just going to throw this right away. It ends up being a charge attack priority. Is he going to shield? Is he going to let it go? He lets it go. So I'm like, okay, maybe there's a chance. Maybe Diggersby's his best Ariados answer, and we still have a chance here. But no, it's a Clodsire. So this looks over. This looks over. Ariados is going to struggle here against Claude, which, of course, is kind of the Pokemon of this season. That's why we have two solid Clodsire answers in the back. As long as shields are in play, Dugong and Greninja do really well against Claude. If shields are down, Claude can pose a threat. Get off the Trailblaze here. If you're wondering why I lunged. Oh, I missed a bubble there. Dang. I lunged the Clodsire so that this Stone Edge right here would not be lethal. We're actually able to withstand it. I go for the catch attempt. Honestly, I'm not sure if he was even there. I might have been one off. But he still has a shield to hide behind, so he simply just is going to shield the lunge, even though it didn't visually show. And then he is going to Stone Edge us for victory. GG. That was only our second L, right? Only our second L of the video. Stefan, the next opponent, Gastrodon. And although we're a poison type, we're also a bug type, right? So we only take neutral damage from these mud slaps. And we have Trailblaze. So this is a positive matchup, in my opinion, for Ariados. We land the Trailblaze. We catch a move onto Dugong. I was hoping maybe it could be like a Water Pulse, you know, but it's an Earth Power. That's fine. And this is totally cool with me. I throw after 4 so that I debuff before I take the Stone Edge. And this actually ends up being a nice play by me. I'm tooting my own horn. But getting the debuff off first allows me to live the Stone Edge without having to commit a shield and then getting off this drill run. Probably could have gone for the Icy Wind there. Maybe Icy would have been enough anyway. But I wanted to make sure if he didn't shield, it would knock out. I shield Greninja here. Gonna overfarm. He makes a beautiful catch onto Gastrodon, making me look silly. Nice catch by our opponent. Let's see, does Claude come back or does he reveal the third Pokemon? Third Pokemon comes in, it's Mandibuzz. This is solid for Greninja. We still have a little bit of health on Ariados as well we can try and utilize at some point in this endgame. We also have a sliver of health on Dugong, so Dugong may be like a catch opportunity. He catches on Claude. I knew this was a possibility. However, I was totally fine with this. And then I decided to catch back on Ariados. Because I figure Ariados can probably live Aerial Ace and still get to a lunge here, which is what happens. And this lunge ends up being really critical, actually. Because this lunge, debuffing the attack of Mandibuzz, is going to make the Aerial Ace do a little bit less damage, potentially going to allow Greninja to live in Aerial Ace. Keep in mind, this Mandibuzz has a ton of energy. They're either at double Aerial Ace or maybe like one shy right now. So I'm like, dang, I actually just decide to take it. And then I swap Dugong, and Dugong barely gets the Ice Shard down before the Snarl down. Very close endgame there. A little too close for comfort. but we're able to get it done. GG. That Night Slash catch on the Gastro made that game a lot closer than it probably should have been. All right, tough lead here into Shadow A-Slash. So we're going to pivot into Dugong. And the fact that they're staying in tells me they don't have an obvious Dugong answer. So I'm actually going to shield this. Preserve some health on Dugong. Then in comes Feraligatr. Alrighty, we're going to go for the Drill Run. It's a non-Shadow, so I'm definitely going to need double Drill Run to knock this thing out. But the Hydro Cannons also are not going to be as threatening for our Dugong. Second Drill Run coming through here. Will it connect? Yes, it will. And this is hopefully going to allow us to get the farm down. They throw an alignment as well. Going to give us a free Ice Shard. Hydro Cannon connects. They hard pivot into Slash. Now, I could have potentially baited here, but I decided to play it safe. Guarantee the shield or the big damage. Then I hard pivot into Greninja. Since they are switch locked, we get the alignment that we want now. Drill Run does do a lot of damage. Maybe I should have shielded. Going for the Hydro Cannon here. Hydro Cannon grabs his second shield. I'm just going to go for this right away. Make sure I get this off. Because he could have Ice Punched there if I didn't throw that immediately. In comes a Azumarill, and this looks really good. Now we're up a shield. We have Ariados where it wants to be. So we're in a pretty dominant situation here. His only win condition would be like catching a move on Feraligatr maybe. And even then, if he doesn't have Hydro Pump, I don't think that would even be enough to win the game for him. Because Ice Beam's not going to be enough to really threaten our Ariados here. Trailblaze knocks out one Poison Sting. Gets rid of the Gator. And another win on the board. Ariados, dude. Too spammy. Too good. I plan on probably using it a little bit more today along with one other team that we ended with last stream. Ariados versus Drift. Tough lead. We're going to pivot Dugong. Met by Champ. This is looking tough. So this game is actually a good example of like trying to find the win condition. So we go for the Icy Wind here. And unfortunately, it only gives us like minimal farm on Ariados. And it also is going to allow Machamp to get off a super effective move here. I wasn't sure if this was enough for Stone Edge, so I took it, but it's a Rock Slide. Still is a lot. Our opponent then hard pivots into Clod. Now, in hindsight, I think I should have immediately swapped to get going with Greninja. But in the moment, my mindset was like, well, where else am I going to utilize Ariados? We know there's a Drifbloom, so I'm just going to use it here and sack it. Get the Claude into like Hydro Cannon range. Also, in hindsight, I think I should have shielded this. But now you're going to see the power of Shadow Drifbloom with Astonish. I even land the Night Slash. But these Astonishes, dude, are doing too much damage. He still has both of his shields. He still has both of his shields. I do this thinking like my only win con at that point. Oh, you know what? I think in my head, I knew I was going to lose at that point. So in my head, I actually like this. I was thinking my only win con, since I can't really see the current health on the Drifbloom, but I knew a Water Shuriken had gone through. My only win condition would have been if I Night Slashed and he was at 1 HP and he shielded. Maybe I could have gotten to 2 moves against the Claude, but he's definitely not at 1 HP. And then our opponent recognizes this is kind of a nice recognition by them. They simply shield just to get off 1 more Astonish worth of fast attack damage. And then 1 Poison Sting's all they need to knock out Mr. Greninja. Well played, opponent. GG. Gives us another loss, but this was a really fun team. We go 4-1, 3-2, and thanks to the trainer in our chat, I think it might have been 1717. I could be wrong. That recommended it. Apologies if I'm wrong about that to whoever recommended it. But yeah, really cool team. Ariados has been probably the most fun Pokemon for me to use so far this season. I recommend you guys try it out. And all that said, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're new, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all of that said, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.